This is a journey into sound. A journey which along the way will bring to you new color, new dimension, new values, and a new experience.
Welcome to the Ghee Spot podcast. I'm your guide, Katie Silcox, bringing you your weekly self-love soundbite. Join us for conversations around sex, spirit, and all things self-care. All things self-care. All things self-care.
This is a journey into sound.
You are a Ghee Spot podcast with Katie Silcox.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Lineage of Love special Ghee Spot podcast. We are about to go live today in the Lineage of Love, and so I'm really excited to share this with you guys. Lineage of Love, if you're not aware of it, is our special subscription program where you get a video class with me, an audio practice, mantra, meditation, sometimes it's a lecture, and we have this amazing Facebook Live. So join us today. We're going to be talking about the new moon, Tantra, and how to make life a lot more fun in terms of keeping your house clean. So I know that seems like a crazy topic, but here we are at the Lineage of Love Live talking about this new moon, and I am so excited. I just wanted to say, you can't see me if you're listening from the podcast, but in our Lineage of Love group, Miriam, thank you so much. She sent me this t-shirt. It's a full moon. We're on the new moon, but it's a full moon, and I don't know if you can see it. There's a little bunny inside. So thank you so much. This is my new favorite top. So welcome, you guys. It is almost the new moon, and I wanted to take just a moment to come with you guys live and talk about what we're always trying to do really in Tantra is to understand the way of nature and the laws of nature and how we can best align ourselves with those laws of what nature is doing. And it's really the path of humility. The physical body, the matrix of your body is designed biologically to do best when we're in humility. And I know that sounds like maybe not like a super stylish thing to say in today's world of empowerment and manifestation and boundaries and speaking your truth. But really, if you are truly in the spirit of humility, what that does in the matrix of the body is it enables you to actually become more powerful. Because that humility is the opposite of meekness. It's the opposite of disempowerment. It's actually saying, I, as a creature of nature, understand that nature is my mother, and everybody knows that mama knows best, and mama is the boss of me. And so if you think about God as Father Sky and Goddess as Mother Earth, when we talk about Tantra, what we're really attempting to do is to be in right relationship and holy, divine, sovereign surrender to those two forces, nature and spirit. And in Tantra, they're woven into one another. So on that note, in Tantra, we weave the fabric of worldly life into the fabric of daily life. So as we enter into this new moon, and I want to talk about clearing out and cleansing out, the new moon is, many of you know, the best time for setting these intentions of what you're ready to let go of and what you're ready to get rid of and what you're ready to humbly surrender, right? Or what you're ready to infuse with a sense of the sacred. That really is powerful right now for us. It's happening. We're on the East Coast, but this Sunday. So this is just like the perfect Lineage of Love live session for getting clear on that today and bringing that into this weekend. So new moon, all about clearing out new beginnings and really planting the seed of what your heart really longs for. And what's cool about that and what makes the new moon a powerful time, and we can kind of utilize that, is that whatever intention that you set today or this weekend, and some of you know that I'm going to be in Yogaville beautiful Yogaville in Buckingham, Virginia this weekend, and we're going to be talking about manifestation all weekend. So it'll be a very powerful time to do this. But you guys in Lineage of Love can do it with us, right? And so when we get clear on that goal, when we set that and plant that intention today, the new moon energy will actually help you grow it as the month proceeds. And so one of the big intentions that is, let me say this the correct way, a beautiful way of giving a physical remedy, a physical practice to what sits in your heart is actually cleaning your house. Now, I'm using this Lineage of Love in the podcast. I have a new podcast. It's called the Ghee Spot. If you guys in the Lineage of Love aren't subscribers, get in the Ghee Spot because it's really fun content that comes out every week. And so what I want to talk about in this session is how we can use clearing out our home to actually represent this physiological, this physical, this very worldly way of infusing these intentions that we're going to make today. And if you're listening later, you can do it anytime, right? No matter where the moon is in the sky, you can do this. But to actually physicalize the longing of my heart to release and let go through the act of cleaning out my house. So take notes. You can do it today. You can do it next week. You can do it whenever you want, but it's important to do this when you feel like it. I don't want anybody doing this with a sense of duty, right? Just like you're gonna feel it. I'm ready to clear out. And the new moon's a really good time to do that. So why is this so tantric? You know, I was talking to my friend, my best buddy out in California. Everybody knows her name is Cassandra Fox. And she and I were speaking yesterday and she was like, dude, she didn't say dude, but I say dude, so we'll just pretend. Dude, like, have you ever noticed that like the phrase holy shit is like the best phrase in the world? And I was like thinking, dude, Cassandra, have you been like smoking weed? Like what's going on? And she was like, no. And Cassandra is a tantric scholar. She was like, no, it is literally the most tantric phrase in the world. Holy shit. Like think about that. Shit. The worst thing on the planet. Holy. Put them together. And that's Tantra, right? It's saying everything in this reality, from the most disgusting and mundane, and even things that you want to avoid, even things that you shun, and the most sublime, the most beautiful, the most divine, like holy shit, put those two together and you have the essence of Tantra. And this is really what it means to be an empowered woman. It's saying, I'm not going to actually run from the things that I avoid. Housework is something I hate doing. It is no secret to anyone that knows me really well. And yeah, I'm a pretty neat and clean person. I'm not going to say that I don't get help with it sometimes. And that's another topic on how it's okay if you need help with these things. But I'd always just felt when I would do housework, like this is keeping me from doing things that I actually am good at, that I actually really want to do. And I would do housework like grudgingly. And so this is the opposite of being tantric. A true free person, you've heard that phrase, chop wood, carry water. After enlightenment comes the dishes. You know, a truly free and tantric person understands that doing anything in the world, especially these like things that we would rather not do, with a sense of the sacred is one of the most powerful, potent spiritual practices on the planet. And so cleaning the house, Tantra says, becomes a way of infusing magic, of infusing intention, of infusing love, because that's what it really is, into the fabric of the worldly life. And you can do this for anything, infusing love into changing the baby diaper, right? Infusing love into putting air in your tires. Hello. You know, all these things that we kind of, especially those of us who are in Lineage of Love, I know you guys were a little bit more on that subtle spiritual realm. People that are listening to the podcast, we're drawn to those realms of the angelic and the spiritual, and like the worldly can kind of be annoying. And Tantra says actually that rhythmic quality of cleaning is very similar to that rhythmic quality of mantra. that rhythmic quality of making love, that rhythmic quality of dance or yoga, where you're just in this magic physical sense of repetition. Cleaning's the same. And so we can put magic and intention into things that we would normally be like, ugh, shit, I've got to clean. And you can do this with anything, turning shit you hate doing into golden magic. Why this is powerful during the new moon is that the home holds a lot of your physical expression of what's going on the inside. That is why I literally cannot watch the show Hoarders, although I find it fascinating. I can't watch that show because I'm just like such a sensitive creature that I just start crying for these people and like want to like creepily find out where they live and get their phone number and like invite them into Shakti school. Like, it is such an expression of the emotional reality. Your home is the externalized expression of the state of your mind. And so thinking about that, now cleaning and clearing out becomes this holy spiritual act, cleaning your house. So let's talk about just some really practical ways of working with cleaning out the home. There's like a book that has been written that is the Bible of this stuff, and it's called The Magical Art of Tidying Up. If you don't have that book, you've been sitting under a rock if you haven't heard about this book. And like, I'm not affiliated, I don't get a cutback from this book, but that little sweet book is so great. And get the book, but like the essence of the book is so tantric. It's about infusing magic into objects. And so the idea is that you take all the objects in your home and you, each and every one, hold them and ask the question, is this bringing joy into my life? Is this serving joy? Is this sparkling? I believe that she says. It's such a beautiful line. And this is one of the most powerful tantric practices on the planet. And it's hard. And it's hard to let go of things. Why is that? These things hold old stories. That's why it's sometimes hard to let go of your ex-boyfriend's love letters from when you were 18 or 22 or 12, right? The nostalgia lives in the objects. In Tantra, we call this prana pratisha. There's a way that the energy has been placed into the object. And so this is cool. It's neither good nor bad. There's no judgment here. Just know that it lives there. And that's why you get to choose. Like, that is the essence of being a yogini. It's not you should do this or you should do that. It's you have divine choice and awareness over it. If I don't know that, and my God, these people on the show Hoarders, just go watch that if you want to get inspired to help people on the planet. They may or may not, I shouldn't assume, know that this old past is actually being held in these objects, and none of them seem like they have their life together, right? And then as soon as they start to let go of these things and start to cry and start to feel the emotion that's lodged in there, some of them start to shake and tremble, and you can see the trauma of these people. And I'm giving an extreme example, right? Leave them. And some of them don't want this, and then they, I've seen a couple episodes, like some of them don't do it. So our things hold prana, and in particular, the prana of the past. So there are many, many, beautiful resources you can look into in terms of like feng shui or vastu in the yogic or Vedic tradition around how to harmonize the energy of your home. But just step one, clean it, right? Like actually mop, vacuum. And in that rhythmic activity of sweeping and mopping and dusting and scrubbing, not only are you getting a little tantric goddess workout, but as you do that rhythmic action, you can infuse into that your intention. And so if it's, I want to let go of this past boyfriend, lover, husband, clean your house with that intention and that emotion pouring through you of moving it, right? Let's say you have a lot of debt and you want more money in your bank account. As you brush and scrub and clean, feel that money karma. You are ridding yourself of that debt and opening up new channels. Money and the state of your house are incredibly interrelated, you guys. I have experienced this over and over and over again. As soon as I begin, and Eden, I don't know if Eden is here right now, but Eden will watch this later. I hope. Eden's my little sweetheart sister in Lineage of Love. She's in Shakti school. She's just like such a sweet bunny, as so all of you are. But like, I give Eden a lot of my old clothes, and like giving her my clothes, she gets so excited. She looks so beautiful in it. You know, she's 23 and just radiating that Lakshmi youthful glow. And as soon as I start to just give away, and by the way, give away things you may still like. As soon as I begin to give away things that I actually even still like, that new energy can come through to me. I remember my mama used to say to me, you know, whenever you feel poor, just start giving that money away. The other day, I mean, it's not a brag. It's just as soon as you start giving it away, it just starts to come back. I gave money to the Orangutan Fund, some beautiful organization. My heart just weeps for the orangutans on the planet right now. And it's literally at this point like clockwork. You can't do it with the intention of, oh, I want more money, but like giving always opens up a pranic flow whereby your system and your home as a part of your body can receive. I love books. I don't hoard anything except one thing. That's one of the shelves back there. I hoard books and I've gotten better about this, but like even things that we consider to be good for us, like books or herbal supplements or herbs or, pictures of people, like that still can be a way of entrapping yourself and entrapping that stuck prana. And so over the past couple of years, before I would never touch my books and never ever get rid of even one of them. Now I go through my books once or twice a year and I really say, like, do I need this for my work? Am I going to use this? Or is this book holding a message and an energy that I've already digested in my being? That information in the book is already in my body. I got it, right? The download has been downloaded. And now by keeping this book, I am preventing somebody else from having this information that may need it. It may change their life, right? Like I didn't even like this book, but someone else may be shifted by it. So going through your things, clearing them out, super important. Old clothes is another big one that holds our past story. Our old clothes holds the person that you were when you wore this stuff. So like I used to have all this like super sexy, flimsy, tiny clothing from when I lived for 8 years in the south of Spain. Now, and I had a very beautiful life living front row on the beach in Marbella. And I had a completely different life. I used to drink lots of cocktails and it seems like another incarnation, right? And like stay out till 3 a.m. smoking rolly cigarettes and being very, very fashionable and chic. And of course now I don't think I've had a cigarette in 10 years and a drink maybe 3 times a year. But like the point of that is those old clothes, I had been hanging on to them. And now, of course, I live in Charlottesville, Virginia, where we're a little bit more conservative here with the clothing. Now, it's not to say just wear whatever you want, of course, but the reality of my life now doesn't fit those clothes, right? And I was holding on to a lot of those clothes because I was holding on to that like 22-year-old me. Our clothing holds our past story. And so even though these were beautiful clothes, they were representative of a time in my life that I was actually ready to lovingly honor and let go of. Because to be honest, some of you know my story, that wasn't the most happy time in my life. In fact, it was the most unhappy time in my life. So letting go of old clothes is about accepting also where you are right now. And unless you guys know something I don't, for everyone sitting in this room and everyone listening at home, we are growing older. That is inevitable. And so letting go of old clothes, old books, old love letters is a way of saying, I am ready to step in to who I am becoming. And let me tell you, when you let that go and you do it with that intention, now God, goddess, the universe, reality, whatever you want to call it, has room to pour new prana into you, new energy, new opportunities, new relationships, new money. All of that can flow. So the most important thing is to get rid of old stuff that doesn't bring flow. The goddess of flow is called Saraswati, and you can't see it, but I have a murti, a statue of her here near me, and that word Sara, it just means the flow. And so she cannot flow in you, through you, to you as, guess what, guys? Artistic creativity, inspiration, science. The muse can't come to you if you are blocked up, because her name is flow, right? And so getting rid of this old heavy clutter, super important. Rhythmic, repetitive mantra. Clean the shit out of your house with an intention. And after it's clean, that's when you can start going through and doing some of this fun witchy stuff of like laying down a level with a cloth of like an essential oil. Any of the pines work really well. Any of the citrus oils works really well. Any of the like lavender does really well. You guys are smart witchy women. Just use basically any essential oil. Of course, lemon, really good. Using products that don't hurt the earth. Many, I'm sure you guys already use these, but just begs to be repeated, that trying to use environmentally friendly products. And as you're doing this process of clearing out and cleaning physically, notice what thoughts and emotions start to come up as you do it. So cleaning can become this like way of bringing up subconscious stuff. So the art of cleaning can actually become a moving form of meditation. What else do I want to talk about? Of course, salt is always something good to use when you're cleaning. Taking a bath after you clean, really good idea. Using salt in the bathtub, using essential oils in the bathtub. Saging your home. It's very popular right now on the Instagram to have sage. There's a witch revival happening in the United States and across the world. I don't know if you've noticed. And us white, sweet witches, good Glenda witches, that Tantric witches, we're laughing because we're like, oh, we've been witching it for a while now. And now everybody else is getting on board. It's a fad, and fads are fine. But why I encourage you to join Shakti School. We have a new program starting in January. Shakti School is Tantric witch school, where you humbly learn the methodologies. Because if you just get on Instagram and get a thing of sage and just start going to town on your house, but you haven't learned the properties of the plant and you haven't learned the deeper traditions around it, it's not going to hurt anything, but it's not going to be as powerful. And so sage is like one of those things that works really well, but you need to clean your house before you sage it. Otherwise, you're just saging the old dirt, right? So sage is something that I really reserve for when the house is pretty clean, the clutter is pretty cleared, and that's a really good time to sage your home in the more traditional use of sage. Good idea to get rid of, especially right now as we enter into this new moon period, get rid of old dead plants. And in general, dried flowers are not great for chi, for prana. Dried flowers hold dried, stagnant, dead energy. And if you have one and it's symbolic of death for you, fine, but just know the energy of things. Dried flowers, if you have like crystals are another thing that have become very, very, very incredibly popular in the world today. And bone is another thing that's becoming very popular. Crystals, bone, and dried flowers are all heavy, heavy, heavy earth energy. The crystals actually live under the ground. They are beings and they like to be under the ground. They don't like to be pulled up and then we go and pull them up. So, if you're doing that responsibly, just like if you're killing a deer and eating it. Like if you're doing that in a way that's sustainable to nature, eating a deer is great. Crystal, maybe you have one big crystal that you've sustainably harvest from the earth, but right now what we're doing now is now experiencing like the harvesting of all these crystals that would prefer to live under the earth. And then you go into someone's home, and I see this a lot in the new age yoga goddess hippie kind of like goddess witch world. You go into some of these women's home and I think they're mean well, but their homes are so freaking cluttered. Tons of scarves, tons of Indian paraphernalia everywhere, angels and crystals and bones and old things and dried flowers and plants everywhere. Crystals hold earth energy. So if you're holding all of this stuff, Saraswati can't flow. So crystals, actually the best place to put a crystal is actually under your bed. And if you do have lots of crystals and you have the ability to put them under your house, that's a great idea. I live in Charlottesville where we live in Charlottesville in this whole area under a bed of crystals. And that's one of the reasons why a lot of healers and authors and artists are drawn to this place, because they're just naturally formed. We live on crystals. And back when I used to live out in the country, I would just take walks and the crystals are everywhere. And I would take them because many of them had actually come to the surface. And that's the best crystal to take back home, the one that's already risen. So these are just a couple of ideas. There's so much more that we could say about it. And we do go into this a little bit more in Ayurveda School Level 1. In Ayurveda School Level 2, we're going to have some very special people come and talk about more ways that you can harmonize the flow of prana in your body and in your life. And I hope that you guys feel inspired to get going with some house clean out. And Megan's reminding me, Megan's our sweet herbal, Megan is our herbal witch in Shakti School. And she's saying to the witchy poos out there, white sage is endangered, so please buy from a good source. So thank you. Yeah. And in general, when it comes to herbs, every herb, we want to try to make sure that we're getting it from a sustainable source. So guys, I'm so glad to see you. I am excited about this weekend at Yogaville. We're going to be doing some intention setting, and I hope maybe you're going to come. And if not, you can do it on your own at home. And so I'd like to just close this little session with just a brief little practice that we can do, a little body yantra practice for solidifying the talk and solidifying everything that we've been like learning about maybe or thinking about in our brain, in the front of our brain and analyzing brain. We can just bring that into the integrating somatic brain, which is your bone structure and your fascia and your ability to sense into your physicality. And so if you'd like, just go ahead, and we're just going to do about 2 minutes to close. I want you to close your eyes and just get a sense of the sacred with us right here, right now. And as you close your eyes, immediately, if you ask the question, you can just say, hey, body, where do you want me to focus on you right now? And instantly your body's going to show you a place in your structure, your bones, or an area that's just going to light up. It's a location. You're going to be led to a location in your body. And as you find that location, it might be your collarbones, it might be your rib cage, it might be your elbows, it might be your hip bones, it might be your kneecaps, just might be your thigh bones, wherever you find your body taking you. And it might be your throat, and you certainly have the spine going through there, jaw, cranial bones. These are just some places that your body might take you. And wherever your body is taking you, I want you to take your hand, and if you can, I want you to put your hand there. And from that bone, or that set of bones, if it's one of your bones where you have two, I want you to feel that you could draw a line from those bones down, down, down into the tip of your tailbone, or where you think your tailbone is. And wherever you're holding your awareness, bring your attention down to that point of the tailbone. And for many of you, it'll feel kind of like a downward facing triangle. It takes your brain only about 90 seconds, if you can get your thinking brain out of the way, to map your bones. And this causes the parasympathetic nervous system to, usually that system, to activate this part of you that's easeful and sexual and restful and aware of reality as a nurturing force. Just sense into those bones and give your brain a rest. Just 90 seconds of purely giving your brain the information about where these bones are. And if you find that you're getting pulled away by thought or distraction, just know that that means that you need this practice more than anyone. And that's okay. It's just about 30 more seconds. Could I just be in my bones without running away to the past or the future, thinking self? And then gently just open the eyes and notice how it feels to become centered for even just 2 minutes. Thank you guys for being here. There's so many of you live. This is amazing. So we're going to be doing this a couple times a month in the Lineage of Love Live. Have a beautiful day, you guys. And let us know how your cleaning sessions go. You can post to the Facebook group, and we'd love to see or hear about it. Have a beautiful day. And if you are listening on the podcast, that was Lineage of Love Live with me. If you are not a member, you need to get your booty in. It's $18 a month. You get a beautiful video class. They tend to be about 30 minutes, more or less, that you can do with me, of yoga and movement practices designed to activate your parasympathetic nervous system, your rest and digest. You get a lecture with me, and that tends to be a longer class with me, or a meditation with me, as well as a PDF of recipes and tricks and tips, all stemming from my interests in Ayurveda and Tantra and modern science. And so if you're not in it, get in it. It's $18 a month. Like, you can't go to a yoga class these days for any less than that. And you also get to keep these practices. And so you can create a little compendium of them on your own and build them. A library of Tantric lady-inspired yoga practices. So we hope you'll join us. You can find all that information in the show notes, the links, Lineage of Love. And Shakti School is starting a new level 1 Ayurveda health coach certification starting this January 2019. We've still got some spots left. Early bird ends September 30th, October 1st, one of those days. So check out our certification course where you can learn for a year with me. It's a 300-hour course. And when you're done, you're going to have all the tools that you need to help others do the same. So check that out, and we hope to see you soon. Thank you, guys.
Put